You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Experts explain how Trump turned the Relecting Pool into a humiliating disaster based on an article by Sarah K. Burris. Trump broke a pool to prove he could, a vanity project disguised as maintenance. The reporting is straightforward on the surface. The Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool was drained, coated, and then failed at the seams. Trump wanted it made more effective, treated a functioning public landmark as a personal design problem, and handed the work to a no-bid contractor. The result is a mess that experts say looks less like sabotage than a rushed, badly prepared application. The real problem was never algae. The story tries to linger on the pool as if it were an errant patch of nature that needed taming. That is the wrong frame. An open-air reflecting pool will always collect contamination, birds, bugs, and the ordinary grime of a city. That is not a scandal. The scandal is an administration treating predictable maintenance realities as if they were evidence of failure, then using that invented emergency to justify intervention. Power made the decision, then escaped the consequence. This was not an accident of bureaucracy. Trump wanted the change, and the Trump administration executed it. The Interior Department is now selling the public a story about vandalism and leak-proof success, but the reporting says the administration has produced no evidence for that claim. The buckling appears where the coatings meet at the seams, which points toward the more mundane and more damning explanation: poor preparation, missed timing, contamination, and a rushed timeline. That is how power hides its fingerprints. It creates a project, shortens the schedule, waves away craft, and then acts surprised when the work fails at the exact points where care mattered. A no-bid contract for a manufactured problem. The no-bid contract matters because it reveals the operating logic. Trump did not just order a fix. He routed public work through his own impulse-driven chain of command and awarded it without the discipline of open competition. Atlantic Industrial Coatings won the contract, then hired Mid-America Industrial Coatings, and the whole arrangement was supposed to produce a seamless protective barrier. Instead, the seams became the story. This is not a technical footnote. It is the political economy of Trumpism in miniature. Invent a problem, claim urgency, suppress scrutiny, and trust private contractors to paper over the damage created by haste and vanity. The lie is always bigger than the floor. The administration's response is to insist the pool is now fixed and to imply that criticism is itself partisan excess, the kind of cheap insult the White House always uses when the facts are inconvenient. But the underlying issue is not whether the coating was the right product in theory. Experts already said polyurea can work if applied correctly. The issue is that Trump's people appear to have done the work in the way one would expect from a president who confuses spectacle with competence. That is why the vandalism line fails. It is not an explanation. It is an excuse designed to move blame away from decision-makers and toward some imaginary outside saboteur. The larger pattern. The reflecting pool is not just a botched renovation. It is a model of authoritarian management. By improvisation, declare yourself the only person who can fix what you claim is broken, override process, reward loyalty, and then blame the damage on enemies when the project collapses. The pool did not become a metaphor because critics wanted one. It became a metaphor because the governing style is a metaphor for itself: loud, self-regarding, careless, and structurally incapable of distinguishing public responsibility from personal performance. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article. With the automated voice of John, thanks for listening.